Hey, everybody, it's Dale Jr. Here for the Ask Junior. We're in the middle of a really, really good episode of the Dale Jr. Download, and we had a really good Dirty Air segment. We talked a lot about the Bubba Wallace incident with Kyle Larson. We talked about our Ben Kennedy interview last week. I think you'll love to hear what we had to say about that. Maybe you won't, but either way, we talked about SHR, Cole Custer, and a bunch of things going down there. And you're going to want to, I think, listen to Mike's mentioned it a few times. You're going to want to mention we're going to listen to Door Bumper Clear this week. Should be interesting. I'm sure they'll be animated. But you guys have been sending your questions into at Xfinity Racing on Twitter. You've been doing a great job with that. They've been great questions. Loving the segment here. We love everything Xfinity's done for us. And Hannah's here with your questions. Let's get started.
So the first one comes with the fact we've revisited this a couple times, but now that we are where we are in the season, the real Michael Scott says, with Logano in Cup and Josh Berry in Xfinity advancing the championship 4, now who would you say are the other 3 joining them in Xfinity and Cup?
Yeah, so my I had to revise my 4. The ones that I picked at the start of the playoffs. Someone got knocked out. I forget who it was, but I forget who it was. But anyways, Larson. I had Larson in my 4, and I had to replace him with Christopher Bell, which Christopher's going to have to do some work. But it's C-Bell, Logano, Chase, and I think Denny is my 4 now. But I'm telling you, man, Chastain surprised me. I got to admit, I did not have Trackhouse doing what they're doing at this point in the season. Chastain, Suarez, both really fast this past weekend. It was possible for either one of those guys to win this race. Suarez was an easy walk into this round at the Roval for him if he doesn't have the steering issues. He was in great position with a very fast car at the Roval, so that was frustrating for him, I know. And Trackhouse kind of fell off midway through the year. They kind of lost some of that pace, but man, over the last couple of weeks, they rekindled that spark or whatever it was that they had, and they're back at it, running really quick. And now Chastain has put himself in a great position to move forward. So I have to admit, I had that wrong. I did not have them going this far, but like all year, they have surprised. I know me. They have surprised me, and they continue to do that. I'm willing to admit it. But I thought C-Bell, after coming off of that win, I thought he was probably the best Gibbs car, and I felt like that he would, obviously, some bad luck for him this weekend. He was probably going to have a pretty awesome day, so that puts him in a bad situation. But, what's going on with Chase? Chase had a great, healthy lead points-wise coming into Vegas, ran awful all day long. Didn't get a great amount of points out of the day, and so lost a little bit of that lead. And so that's a bit of concern going into the next race, which I know that the Homestead's a little bit different shape, but I feel like some of the same components and setups and whatnot that you would use at Vegas are absolutely going to Homestead. So the cars that were fast, Penske, are going to be fast again when we go to Homestead. And the guys that were struggling are absolutely probably concerned going into this week.
This next one comes from our YouTube chat from McLaughlin Trucking. It said, we always like to talk about innovation on this podcast. Did you see the innovation of the walleye fishing tournament of the men that put the lead weight inside their walleye? And what do you think about that?
What I found most crazy. What I found most insane about that was the way that they were getting hammered by everybody in the space. Did you see the video, Mike?
I 100% saw it.
And so while
they were there, it's like they had their knives and they were ready to cut because they've been suspecting it for a long time.
Yeah, and so that was very uncomfortable to watch. I know these guys did wrong, but that was hard to watch.
It was a revolt.
Them being publicly shamed,
Right.
and but deservingly so, but still, it's never fun to see that. But man, I was those people were so mad.
I've heard that
so mad.
They've actually got criminal charges now on them.
Yeah.
Is that right? Like
I don't know
Oh,
about
you wouldn't know.
that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You're the racing person. You're not the walleye
Yeah, I'm not
fishing
the walleye
tournament.
fishing.
Okay.
Listen, jack of all trades, master of none. But I think walleye fishing is out there on.
I have heard that they had some criminal charges
There-
already, which I think is absolutely justified. By the way,
I'm not an expert at all in this field, but I mean, what is most critical in any competition is integrity, and so the way I feel about NASCAR is like I want them to be severe in penalties and hold people accountable and let no one gets off the hook, right? And I just, I want the deterrent for creativity and innovation to be very strong, and that's what makes innovation in cheating scandalous and almost interesting and compelling. Is that big deterrent, right? If there were no rules, then cheating wouldn't be that interesting.
hey, and let me tell you something. If you want to entertain yourself, go to YouTube and go start researching some old fishing cheating stories. Oh my gosh, dude. The things that some of those fishermen have done to cheat are unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
I know that years and years ago, guys, some dude went and bought fish from a store.
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, there's a fella from Georgia that's notoriously epic. They don't know where he went. He's gone. He's vanished. But he was admonished. Go read his story on what he was doing during a fishing tournament.
Give us an example.
Basically, he had rigged a system to where he could go. He basically rigged a system in this water where he could go cast into a specific hole, which has basically a tub of fish.
Yeah, had them captured.
And he had them captured, but he could go in there and he would raise up these fish, put them in there for the tournament. I think I'm getting this right. And he would go to this fishing hole. So he actually he argued that he didn't break any rules because he used his fishing pole to go in and catch a fish in a lake. But what he was doing is that he rigged a system to really have a honey hole, really have a honey hole. And so, yeah, he was cheating. There's some unbelievably good cheating stories. They're just interesting.
That is interesting. I mean,
But these guys, stuffing weights in a fish is just wrong, man.
I love the picture too of it. It's like lead weights. I mean, it is
Big ones.
and big ones, and they're just pulling them out and put them in the bucket. I looked it up. It said they've been charged with cheating, attempted grand theft, possessing criminal tools, unlawful ownership of wild animals.
That's it. In the
So-
state
and
of
that's in the
Ohio.
state of Ohio.
The state of Ohio, cheating
Because
is
it was a
criminal offense.
$30,000 prize.
Like that vague. Just you can't cheat. Cheat, you get a criminal offense.
Yeah, it says it found 10 weights inside.
there was all kinds of there were even fillets, like they'd shove fish
They'd
fillets.
shove fish fillets in there.
Which, I mean, that's just like minimal weight. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, a couple ounces, right? A couple ounces of a fillet, 6-ounce fish fillet shoved down into a fish. Yeah.
Yeah, just so they wouldn't cling and clang and give it away. I mean, the fact of the matter is that they're looking like 4-pound fish and then they're weighing 8. That might be an indicator. But there's no telling how much money they have taken. That's the big uproar, right? Like they've been basically stealing money.
Yeah, because you can't go back and protest those. There's no proof. But
anyways.
Fascinating.
2 more questions here, but this one coming from JR Why Not. He said, how do you feel about the Rockingham repave?
Yeah, I heard about that. So I'm assuming that I don't have any information, but it's an American Rescue Act. What is it called? That's the government support.
Oh, the North Carolina or the I know what you're talking about. I'll look it up. Hold on.
It's
I'm assuming that they're taking, that's what they're using with some of those funds is to put a new service down. Listen, if there's debate on obviously we're pushing really hard that Wilkesboro doesn't repave anytime soon. The intent right now by everyone involved at Wilkesboro is to run the old surface at the All-Star race, and hopefully it survives, and will we're running a few more races on it, because when they do repave Wilkesboro, that's going to make things a little difficult in terms of the product. But there's other tracks. There's all kinds of short tracks also getting some of these funds to be able to improve their facilities and whatnot. And all of them are debating on, like, man, should we put any of this money in repaving? Our surface is old and it's patched up, and so a lot of the drivers are begging their tracks like Hickory and so forth to not touch the surface. Leave it old, leave all the imperfections, don't repave, don't spend any of this money on a new surface. And but I would argue that Rockingham doesn't fit into that group. They absolutely need a new surface. There's a lot of issues and problems with the pavement in Turn 1. At least the last time I went there. I know there's been a lot of races on it since I was there. So they have a race, they have had, they can compete on the track. But I think if that track has any opportunity of attracting a truck race back or ARCA, maybe Xfinity, that a new surface would be most necessary for that to ever happen. And that's a hell of a commitment. They're basically gonna push all their chips in, because to repave that racetrack is gonna cost a lot of money, and they're probably they're pushing all their chips in. That a repave is definitely going to check the boxes that need to get checked to get the racing there that they want. So I wish them the best. I support going back to that racetrack. I admittedly don't have the same passion about Rockingham as I did about North Wilkesboro for a lot of reasons. Nothing against Rockingham, but I just don't have the same level of want to in terms of trying to get racing back at Rockingham. I would like it to happen. I think we should be racing there, but I don't think I'll be racing there anytime soon or ever again.
I don't think you liked racing there when you were supposed to race there.
I finally got a good top 5 finish the very last Cup race we ran there.
Right after you won the Daytona 500.
I wasn't great at Rockingham, that's for sure. But
I remember that.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. A repave's a big commitment. That is a big. That's basically you saying, I got all this money at the poker table, and I'm going all in on this hand. And when you could really take that money and spread it around and fix a lot of things, you're gonna put it all on one commitment, and hopefully it works out for them. There's a lot of we've seen on the internet some of the tours or some of the recent video of people exploring the racetrack and the infrastructure, the suites and the interior of the racetrack. All those buildings, they all need a little TLC, and that's expensive. Even just some of the smaller jobs can eat up a lot of money, but that surface would be probably first on the list of things that need investment at Rockingham.
I was trying to find the name of the actual race. It's relief fund, and every article that I just pulled up, every article I just pulled up actually had quotes from the download. So we're just quoting ourselves at this point. Yeah. All right, this last question comes from Jody Klein. It says, I saw that iRacing has named the championship trophy after you.
Oh.
What's that about? And we heard you got to be involved in the design process.
Yeah, so we were at the Hall of Fame several months ago, and Steve Myers surprised me with this bit of news that they were going to name there's the Drivers World Championship, I actually raced in the very first race. I raced in the very first season of the Drivers World Championship, I think back in 2010 or 11 or something like that. It's a long time ago, and I won the very first race on fuel mileage. I wasn't the best. I wasn't going to win the race had we went green, but we got a late yellow that helped me conserve enough fuel to win. But anyways, that we've had that series is kind of the top oval series in iRacing, and anyways, I've been helping them sort of celebrate that series for a long time. I've been I've gave out a trophy or two for them at Homestead when we were celebrating our champions. And NASCAR is affiliated with this series, and they look at they look at the champion of that series as a NASCAR champion. And so, anyhow, they asked me to design a trophy.
Yeah.
And I bet you can guess what this trophy is going to look like.
Well, they don't have to guess. We can show them. Do you want me to roll this thing in, or do you want to just? Does the camera?
It rolls pretty easily. Yeah. Like just push with your legs.
I want the camera to be able to get a good shot of it. All right, so I see it. So make sure the camera sees it.
James is going to get us for it.
So get over there, Mike, so that people can see the size of this thing. Stand next to it to give them a comparable reference. All right. Now, does the base at the very bottom? That's where the names go, right? Point to it down there at the bottom. There you go. Yep. So that's the whole thing. That's the trophy.
That's a big trophy.
How about it?
It's taller than Alex.
Does that thing remind you of anything?
It's the same height as me.
Does it remind you of anything you've ever seen before?
There's no doubt. It's very, very much resembles the old Winston trophy.
Right. You got it.
Yeah. And as soon as I saw it, it looked like the old Winston trophy. And I'm like, if you designed it, then I know that that's what you were thinking, because I know you like that nostalgia. Great job on that.
Thanks.
That is a trophy. That's a man's trophy right there. That's a Stanley Cup. It's a woman's trophy. It's a man's trophy. It's everybody's trophy, everybody, okay? But that's a big trophy is what we're trying to say. It weighs 60 pounds.
So we sat down in this meeting to discuss with the designer of the trophy, right? So they don't know what I'm thinking, right? We sat down in the meeting, and I told myself, I was like, man, I'm not going to tell them that I want them. I'm not just going to tell them that I want them to design the old Winston Cup trophy. I'm going to basically kind of talk them through what I want it to look like, and it's going to eventually get them. And basically, I got 5 minutes in the interview, and I said, just damn it, hold on.
I
Googled on my phone, and I showed them the old Winston Cup trophy. I said, this is the profile. This is what we're going for. Like, it can vary in different places, and you can kind of put your modern spin on it, but this is what I want. And basically, not to hijack the whole thing about the iRacing in the championship and all of that, but I love the old Winston Cup trophy and the shape and the profile of it, and I love it more than anything we've had since.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I'm glad that someone is going to win a trophy. Someone in NASCAR is going to win a trophy like this.
Yeah,
because this is the trophy.
I'm going to tell you something. I think you're giving those folks up there something to think about for the cup level trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Look at this thing, man.
I mean, really, who wouldn't want that?
That is the trophy.
That trophy's so big, you're not going to pick that up by yourself and hoist it over your head.
We have people in the chat that are graciously asking Mike Davis to hoist that over his head right now.
They just want to see the aftermath. Yeah.
Well,
it would be
too bad. Too bad.
You're not getting that.
Too bad, Cup guys.
Too bad, yeah.
Yeah, too bad, Cup guys. This is iRacing's trophy.
Right. Well, Michael Conti may be hoisting this thing one day. You know, who knows?
Maybe.
Like those guys that are going for it. So what's next? You're going to the banquet this week? I mean, like they have their big banquet.
They still got a race to run, Mike.
They still have a race tonight.
Crown their champion.
Yeah. Oh man, is it good? Is the race good? Is the points battle good?
Yeah, they have a points battle very similar to what we have at the Cup level, and it's been compelling. We'll just say that. Michael Conti missed. Our driver, Michael Conti, that drives for Junior Motorsports, missed the Final Four.
Okay.
On a bit of a technicality, and there's a little bit of a. We won't get into it, but
wow.
Michael was very disappointed, but still positive and excited. You know, he had a good year, got close. Looking forward to next year already. But this trophy, I think, will have these drivers very excited about being a part of the series and having that opportunity. They win $100,000 if they win the championship. So $100,000.
Wow.
Plus this trophy.
Wow.
Yeah.
$100,000?
Yeah.
Son.
Oh yeah. Dude, it's a big deal, man. It's the biggest oval esports series in the country.
How much do you think? Do you have any idea how much that trophy costs to make?
Probably ain't cheap.
You weren't thinking about that when you
We
designed
ain't worried
it.
about that.
Yeah, I know. You were ready to go big.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
I love that trophy.
I do too. So, all right, everybody. I appreciate all the great questions. Thanks, Hannah. Some good stuff coming in there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You're going to enjoy this show, man. Like I told you, we got a lot of great content. Eric Jones is our guest. Eric, as soon as he won at Darlington, man, we got on the phone to ask him to come on to the show. I've been wanting to talk to him a lot about his life and, kind of how he came through some of the things that he dealt with, losing his dad at an early age. There's a children's book connection that, if you've seen Eric on social media, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, it's going to be great to learn about him. So hope you have a great week. Should be pretty compelling for NASCAR. Going to be some news coming out over the next couple of days about what they're going to do with everything that happened in Vegas, and we'll be tuned into that. Again, door bumper clear should be exciting this week. Don't want to miss that. Have a great week. Thanks, Xfinity, for everything you do. Xfinity X5 is great service, great internet. It's reliable, powerful, and secure. I'm a customer. I use it. Very happy with it. And we even as long as the power was on over at my house, I got a house at the beach. We went through the hurricane, and my Xfinity was working every step of the way. So we were kind of able to look at the cameras and see everything going on around the house and all the flooding that we had. But it's great service, and we expect anytime anytime we had a line down in the neighborhood, they're out there fixing it. So thank you, Xfinity, for everything you do.
And
forgot about the YouTube.